Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good morning and, for that matter, a great day. Today, I am going to be playing the Ningguang Hangout quest and getting every ending. If you saw my Yunjin video, it's going to be that, but for Ningguang's. Ningguang's Hangout quest was the second one added in the 2.4 patch. So, yeah. I hear it's really good. It Yeah. It requires you to do the Archon quest ahead of time. So, this is your warning for spoilers, I guess, for the Archon quest. So, Ningguang's Hangout quest takes place in the Jade Chamber, which was rebuilt during the Archon quest. I remember being up here for the opera. Let's ignore the fact that if you actually logged off on the opera, you'd spawn inside of here, which is kind of funny. That's what happened with me, but I wonder what's up here.
It looks like all our problems are solved.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to the Jade Chamber.
Oh, great. I have no idea what we would have done otherwise.
What?
I didn't think we'd really manage to get you here. This was a last-minute situation, and you're the one we trust the most.
What?
To put it simply,
What
we're
am I
just
walking
looking for
into?
the right person to help. We had a very long discussion about it, but to no avail. I
What?
have tasked my 3 most trusted secretaries with overseeing an important auction tomorrow. This,
Okay.
however, leaves their regular duties unattended to, and the
Oh.
work cannot afford to go undone. The nature of their day-to-day work is highly sensitive and confidential, so whomever I ask to fill in needs to be someone I can trust, and who doesn't have a conflict of interest. Yes,
Yeah.
you were the person who came to mind.
Immediately.
We may not have spent a great deal of time together, but I do place a great deal of trust in you.
Ooh.
To
I
me,
trust
this work is
Ningguang too.
highly sensitive and of utmost importance, though I'm sure you'll find it to be mundane at best.
Of course.
It would not surprise me if you can't bear the tedium or can't make the time. And yet, despite this, I thought it could do no harm to ask the question, on the off chance that you... As it happens,
I would
was
love-
just having a discussion on backup plans with my secretary.
But the outcome of that discussion was that we couldn't think of a suitable... This is a good reminder that we should always have a contingency plan for...
Anyway, this may add to the debt of gratitude I owe you, but the fact is, your arrival here has rescued what was
I
fast
have-
becoming a rather dire situation indeed.
If I have what it takes, I'll do it.
I wouldn't worry. It's all work you'll be quite familiar with. Planning trips, gathering pertinent information, that sort of thing. All basic skills required by competent adventurers, if I'm not mistaken.
If you have any
I don't
questions
know
your
about
work, I
that
will answer
exactly.
The administrative work Lady Ningguang touched upon just now is only one aspect. You'll also be required to cater for Lady Ningguang's basic daily needs, such as clothing and meals, and be on call for any other requests she may have.
Don't be mistaken.
Yeah.
I won't put you in a difficult position, and I will fully respect your judgment.
Mhm.
All right. Please proceed to the office. Baishe will go over the work.
Yes, Lady Ningguang.
Oh, hell yeah. I get to become her personal secretary? This is great already. I'm a huge fan of Ningguang and Beidou, especially. They're some of my favorite characters. It sucks that they're not 4 or 5-star characters and only 4-star, but I guess that has the benefit of I get to hang out with them.
Before I get into specifics, I want to start by giving you the big. As a member of the Liu Qixing, Lady Ningguang's every move is in the spotlight. Maintaining her perfect
Makes
image
sense.
at all times is absolutely essential. My usual job is to be her right hand, to maintain her image and take care of all her worries. For
How do you
example,
take care of all of
arranging
one
her daily
person's
schedule,
worries?
picking out clothes for her, dressing her, applying her perfume. You misunderstand me. I am simply trying to impress upon you the sheer importance of the work you will be undertaking.
It's
Baishe
fine.
has always
if
been
you get
very
it.
passionate about her work. I can leave any task in her capable hands, and rest assured that her performance will be nothing short of exemplary. I'm sure she was simply trying to share some of her enthusiasm,
Yeah.
in the hopes that you may find it infectious.
Thank you. Back to the topic at hand.
I
Let's
didn't
get
notice
into the
her in
details.
this room before,
Bai
but
Xiao and Bai Wen handle tasks that require enormous experience, while I'm mainly responsible for organizing her daily
makes
schedule
sense.
and making sure she is well fed, dressed for any occasion, and that all her needs are met. I can go through the methods I use and give you some pointers based on my experience to ensure that you are fully equipped to perform your duties.
I'd love it if you would, but apparently,
All in a day's work for the traveler, Great. Then I'll skip that and just get to the handout. Currently, there are 133 items that have yet to be Yes, I did try to make a start in advance, but only got as far as roughly prioritizing the tasks before I ran out of time. I'll go through the most important items with you in more detail. If there's anything you don't understand, feel free to stop me with questions.
Lumine, why did you shut me
First
down
is the
immediately?
periodic
I
meeting
wanted
with
to
the
hear her
representatives at the
actual, like,
trades.
thing.
After that, fielding opinions on revisions to the current tax legislation. Then, a discussion with Lady Kuching on issues relating to time
Kuching.
restrictions on land conveyance deals. Following that, there's a Q&A session with all the major commerce guilds. Right
This
after
seems like a
that, there's-
lot.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
To
of
the
course I do.
uninitiated, scheduling may sound like a simple process of matching tasks to time slots, but there is actually far more to it. You need
Yes,
to take
I'm sure
travel
there
time into
is.
account,
Why is
along with a
Lumine
whole
shutting me
spectrum of potential
down?
issues that can arise. Ample knowledge of all outside factors that may weigh upon your plan A is essential to divide. I assume this is all making sense. Unless you had any other questions at this point?
No, I think I'm good.
Then let's press on. We're tight on time here, and there's a lot to get through. And we still need to leave enough time for you to prepare Lady Ningguang's schedule. Already? Wow.
Wonderful.
I don't.
Then I'll be counting on you to provide my schedule for tomorrow. I'm grateful for your assistance.
Can I-
If anything
can I-
else is unclear,
Take care, Lady Ningguang.
Can I, like, actually plan out her schedule? Dude, can I actually...
Good. You factored in both priority and efficiency,
Ooh,
and produced
okay.
a rigorous and well-structured schedule. You've clearly considered it from excellent work. You've got quite a knack for this. Please be here at the Jade Chamber tomorrow morning. With you helping out here, we will be able to focus fully on the auction. I hope so too. You must be
Maybe I...
exhausted. Make sure...
Maybe I misunderstood how much effort she was expecting me to put in, because I thought it would be way more detail. I wonder if the whole thing is like, whenever you just do the time watch thing, it's just you sleeping on the floor. So I just slept on the floor in the Jade Chamber. Now you're immediately telling me to go back in. Okay, maybe I misunderstood where I was supposed to go. Oh, it's underneath me. I better not be late.
yes, I'm already awake. I'll be out in a moment. I'm just changing.
Cool.
Good morning. Did you sleep well?
Same as usual. It's the
That's
same
good.
as usual.
I was worried you'd be a little uncomfortable. Now then, the schedule. Item 1. Lunch at Lioli Pavilion with Mesua Chiao. Ah, yes. I remember the invitation. I need to make sure I'm well prepared for this. No, someone I've never met before. Today's lunch will be our first time meeting each other. She's paying a high price for my time. And I intend to make sure she... Otherwise, tens of millions of Mora is rather a high price for a lunch. Even one at Lioli Pavilion. Wouldn't you say?
That's a lot of money.
Even at this price, there is no shortage of people willing to pay for a lunch opportunity with me.
Of course not.
Here, I've never had any hand in setting the price. I too was rather surprised to see it become so expensive.
Imagine.
Time is very valuable to me, so when I first came up with the idea, I made a rule that my time would go to the highest bidder.
Of course.
Gradually, it developed into a lucrative business.
It makes sense.
Yes, that sums it up very well. Most people looking to buy my time are business people who believe that whatever they spend now, they will make back several times over in due course. Naturally, for anyone looking to make a profit in a complex market, the bottom line is having the requisite experience and expertise.
Yes, finances is not a very simple thing, and being with the rich,
everyone has their own
like
idea.
going with the
There is no
legislation,
standardized way to measure
probably
something
a
like
smart
this.
idea.
You're a very lucky person, you know. You get to sit in on this lunch for free.
Of
In the
course.
hands of a professional business person, the kind of information you'll be exposed to would be worth, well, tens of millions of mora. There's no need to be nervous, of course.
Of course not.
Now,
Breakfast time with her. It's great. Do I get to sit? I remember sitting down.
did you organize this entire breakfast? Uh-huh. I
Makes
know
sense.
what's going on. Please, sit. Have a taste of the Jade Chamber's chef's cooking. This kind of food tastes far less satisfying if left.
Oh boy.
What do you think? Is the food to your liking? Oh, don't forget we have a lunch later.
Yes.
Save some space, or you... Still, I'm happy
I
to
am
see that you
actually a
approve
very
of my
light
culinary
eater when it
tastes.
comes to like IRL. I'm not a huge like devour everything kind of person, and I pace myself quite well, I would like to think.
On occasion. Usually everyone is too busy for a leisurely sit-down meal. There is an awful lot to get done most of the time. Breakfast also isn't usually
Makes
so
sense.
lavish, hence my surprise when we got here. I actually thought you had cooked it all yourself.
I mean, I'm not a terrible chef, but still.
Relax, I'm just joking. Baishar probably made arrangements yesterday to add a few extra dishes to the... You willingly took this work on, knowing that it would be tedious, and you
Yeah,
have worked
of
diligently.
course.
My secretaries and I are very great. Treating you to some food is but a small token of our appreciation. Breakfast sets the tone for the rest of the day. You can't compromise on it. If you wake up to the same monotonous meal each day,
I
you will start to
mean,
feel fatigued even before you start working.
that does make some sense, but I'm one of those people who eats the same thing every morning.
Well, I'm
But
done
it's not
eating.
monotonous.
We should get ready, then head off to Leoli Pavilion. I have some preparations to make first. Could you bring my clothes to my room, please? I need a change of mood, and a change of
Ooh.
clothes will facilitate
Yes,
that.
this is her new
Who
outfit
knows?
that
Perhaps you will
everyone's
have a completely
excited
different
about.
impression of me after I already instructed Longyang to have my outfit ready. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Hello, how may I help? Ah, yes, of course.
Time to
Here
see
you are. Please
Ningguang's
give this to-
clothing.
Yes, this whole Lady
Her new
Ningguang
outfit's
asked
really
us to rearrange
cute.
this room recently. We're currently right in the middle of that, so everything's in a bit of a mess. That's why it took me a little time to find this for you. Anyway, you...
Did you get it?
No, I didn't. Yes, of course I got it for
Ah.
you.
This is the one.
Ooh. I really like this outfit. I like the blue hue with the purple. It's very cute. It also makes her different from other Geo characters, similar to like
I had
Beidou
this specially tailored recently, and I must say, I'm
and
really rather
Yunjin.
fond of it.
Yes,
What
I
do you
think it looks
think?
beautiful.
Be honest. Phew. Thank you. I was actually a little nervous. Knowing that it has your seal of approval makes me feel much more self-confident. Oh, then it's mere flattery. You pick your moments to wisecrack, don't you? Now I don't know whether to take what you said earlier. I never knew you had such a mischief. All right.
Of course. But I actually think she looks great at anything, so... I definitely didn't have to teleport to find my way out of the Jade Chamber. What are you on about? Ooh.
Lady Ningguang.
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
No, not at all. I know that you have 1,000 different things to do each day.
Great. Well, let's leave the formality. This is the Traveler.
Ooh.
I'm assuming you've heard of her. She happened to be in Leo Harbor today. So I invited her to come along. Do you mind if she sits with us?
No, not at all. On the contrary, I'm honored. I've always been fascinated by you. and your
Honestly, it makes sense
adventures.
that she didn't
There's so many
introduce me
questions
as one
I'd
of her
love to ask
temporary
you.
secretaries. Can't show weakness to
Sorry,
the enemy.
where are my manners?
You know?
I forgot
Stuff
to
like that.
introduce myself. I'm Law Chow, a businesswoman. I work mostly in the textile business.
Makes
but
sense.
Recently, I've been considering branching out into some other markets.
Ooh.
That's what I wanted to ask Lady Ningguang for some advice about. I didn't know there'd be a surprise.
Of course.
Rumors?
You know, the rumors about the two of you,
Uh,
Lady Ningguang and the
uh,
Traveler,
uh,
having
uh,
a closer than average relationship. You haven't heard?
no. Are these
Come
widespread
on.
rumors?
You must know that Lady Ningguang's every move is in the spotlight. That obviously includes her relationship. And if you didn't have some sort of special relationship, why would she invite you to this lunch right after finding out that you were back in Liyue Harbor?
Interesting. Yes, we do have a special relationship, but I don't see anything unusual about. The Traveler is a national hero in Liyue, whose
Yeah.
actions have directly contributed toward the prosperity even putting aside my official status as one of the Liyue Qixing. I admire her on a personal level, too.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Being
there's nothing
flattered
unusual
by
about it at
her.
all. I was just observing that Lady Ningguang now seems to have a second interesting character in her innermost circle. The first one being the captain.
Oh.
You're comparing apples and sunsettias there. Whenever Beidou returns to Liyue Harbor, I've missed out on a number of extremely promising investment opportunities thanks to her. In fact, the timing is always so suspiciously coincidental. I can't help but wonder if she's doing it.
Investment
It is on
opportunities?
purpose.
Oh, do you mean the luminescent spine business? I hear that's been all the rage.
No, something else. All the talk about luminescent spines is just empty hype.
Oh, but isn't there some new technology from Fontaine that needs lots of...
If it were really that profitable, those in the know would have kept it as quiet as possible. You have to wonder,
Yeah, it does make
if the news is
sense.
spreading like wildfire, who's fanning the flame? I had my secretary do some analysis. The current price of luminescent spines far exceeds the profits that could be made on the end, so I would advise you to be...
I see. Well, I was planning to get your opinion on how to get...
In my opinion, there are many people
Yeah.
around with ulterior motives, making this a very risky... Long-term, it's very difficult to say. But I believe there's too much uncertainty to make it worth your investment. You worked hard to
Makes
earn every
sense.
more you own.
She's very
and
smart.
You should be just as careful spending it as you were making it.
You think so too, huh? Okay, got it. Maybe it'd be a better choice to invest this money into an industry that I'm genuinely interested in getting involved with.
Yeah, it does make sense. A lot of people could be trying to
Lady
just
Ningguang,
offload their stock
Thank you so
onto your
much for taking
business.
the time to meet with me today.
Good. I'm glad I could be of some...
Now I see why you were able to become the most successful business person in Liyue. You think clearly. You are very knowledgeable. And you keep yourself well informed. It would take me a very long time to come anywhere close to your level.
Yeah.
You've been listening for a while. Are you getting bored?
No, I'm
Has it
finding
sparked
it
an
very...
interest in the business world for you? Ah,
Maybe in the future.
so you want to be my competitor. Or how about this? I'll invest in you early on, before you make it big.
I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you. This lunch was everything I was hoping for and
Ningguang,
more.
please.
I can't...
See you next time. I'll look forward to hearing...
I love the flattery she gives us.
Right then. Lunch. I'm a little concerned about the auction. I wonder how...
I wonder, too.
Good. Then let's do that. There are some slippery characters among the bidders. So, even though my secretaries are very capable... Come on. The auction is being...
Okay, so I assumed that that was a branch. Ooh, I wonder how this is going on.
Lady Ningguang, what brings you here?
I couldn't help but feel a little concerned. So I just came...
We're about ready, and people are starting to arrive. I think...
Very good. I
Oh.
think I'll host the auction myself.
Huh? You want to...
Yes. Just in
Ooh.
case anything untoward...
Then we'll leave the auction itself to you.
Have you attended an auction before?
I have watched
Well,
one
would you
from the
like to
side.
participate this time? You don't have to bid, of course. Just experience the atmosphere. All right, then.
Yeah.
Feel free to check out the items up for bidding and see if there's any...
So you get to a hairpin, a vase. It is a very pretty vase. And then one of it's some writing. I wonder how much the bids are going
It's about
for.
time to start. Yes? What is it? That's for you to make a consider. It's precisely what makes auctions so until the bids exceed the value of the item you're after. You can keep raising the. Perhaps this does not result in what you might call a fair price.
Yeah.
But what it does do is identify the person who values the item the yes.
Isn't the most fair auction type the one where you
The first
pay
lot
what
is
the
a
second
teacup from
person
my personal
pays?
collection.
20,000.
30,000.
50,000.
He said that so lazily.
80,000. 80,000.
Damn.
I'll raise that to
120.
All right. 150,000.
151?
150,000.
Mm-mm.
180 once? 180. 180.
Yeah, it's mine now.
Okay then.
Yeah, isn't
Moving
like the
straight
most
on to
fair
the next
auction
lot.
he would pay 150, and then like that's how stuff like
You seem
eBay
to be
works.
getting quite into it. What a shame. Of course it did. That's because I didn't come here to sell my thing. I'm sure you must find it quite odd that all these everyday items could fetch such a. Since you're curious, why not go and talk to the buyers?
What are they looking for? It's kind of curious. Stands up to talk.
Today wasn't my day. There were too many bidders, and they all seemed like I guess I'll just have to wait for the next auction.
I may have paid an arm and a leg for this, but in the end, I got the result I wanted. Nothing of Ningguang's could ever be. I'm far from the only buyer who believes that owned by Ningguang is worth paying a premium for. So how much I make just depends on how.
Oh, okay. So you're just looking at the resale value of stuff.
Huh? You want. Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Because the previous. Sure, the item may look pretty ordinary.
Isn't she
but that's
like
probably
the
just
voice
because I'm
actor
not a
for like
connoisseur,
Martha
But I figured I'd buy it.
from the American TV show? Martha the Talking Dog or whatever? I
Well,
hate that I know that.
Did you find the answer yet? That's certainly part of it. But despite this, they were all willing to pay very dearly
Yeah,
for
does
it.
make sense.
I wonder, is faith in me really the only factor in their appraisal of the item's value? You'll see shortly.
Ooh.
The one who's. If all I wanted to do was make some quick mora by exploiting their blind faith in me,
Does
I
make
have
sense.
a million more effective. Every participant in this auction was handpicked by.
Ooh. Okay.
Lady Ningguang, something doesn't seem quite right with the items from today. As unlikely as this sounds, and please forgive me for even bringing it up, but I had to ask. You...
Counterfeits?
The counterfeits.
Absolutely not. They are simply ordinary items, and there was no coercion or enticement during the auction.
Because we trusted you! Everyone knows that you love Mora, but we also know that you made your fortune through
Okay,
honest means,
so-
as opposed to...
You seem to have entered into dangerous linguistic territory there. You should know that unless you have evidence to support your outlandish claims, of course, if you have any genuine grievances about the auction, the
Makes
lots,
sense.
or the process,
You... Fine. Yes, technically, it was all legitimate. Guess all I can do is... But if word gets out about today's auction, people are gonna start seeing you as a con artist. I guess what I'm saying is this really...
let me answer that with a question. You claim that you were willing to pay a high price because you trusted me. But is that really the full story?
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps it could be something to do with a lost item from the original Jade Chamber collection
Okay.
that has quite... When the Jade Chamber fell, countless valuable items from my collection plunged into the sea. I organized a salvage operation, but still there were a considerable number of these made their way back into Liyue Harbor through means unbeknownst to me,
Okay.
and passed through several pairs of hands before...
Wait, you mean...
Yes. Everyone attending the auction today is in possession of lost property
Oh.
belonging to me. Or, to put it another way, they were all people who have had a taste of something that was mine and convinced themselves that I am someone to be taken advantage of. So I ask you again, your high bidding price, was it motivated by trust?
Or greed.
Or was it greed? The sole reason I held this auction is to reclaim my treasured possessions. If you are willing to return what is mine, I will refund all the money you spent in
Okay,
the
that
auction
makes
today.
sense.
All right, fine. You drive
She's
a hard
like-
bargain, like everyone says. I'll go and get it right now. Please.
Despite his bad attitude, he cooperated in the end. The issue was that all items of mine that have been fished out of the sea have changed hands numerous times already. Determining who has legal ownership would be an extremely long-winded process, with each item being assessed. I could have bought them back, but it's not in my nature to pay twice for the same thing.
Yeah, it makes
Least
sense.
of all, when they'd be looking to make a handsome profit from my misfortune. After making some inquiries, I found them to be most uncooperative. So I had to resort to this auction to finally put a stop to all this nonsense. I just wanted my things back. At most,
That makes sense.
a little childish, perhaps. Which is, what do you think it was about the Jade Chamber that defeated Osile?
Go with the explosion.
Well, I think it was a combination of the weight. Its great
That
weight
makes
meant that it
sense.
hit Osile with incredible force, while the energy within triggered that every piece of the Jade Chamber, from the stone walls and
Okay,
wood,
makes
but
sense.
in the end, they became objects of. It's hard not to get a little irked thinking about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for understanding. Now I've got one of my items back. Let me show you what makes it so special. The secrets of history shine through in the relics that survive.
Okay. I'm curious.
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
Me. Lumine's so cute. So the book rewards are nice. Okay. It seems to split off here. So this is where it definitely branches. Don't worry about them. they're
Yes,
very capable.
You're right. In that case, what's next on the schedule? Okay then.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been some time. Let's go to Mingxing Jewelry first. I need to pick.
Or
Hello.
merchants.
I'm here to collect the.
Lady Ningguang. What?
Very good. Don't rush. You probably imagine that Mingxing Jewelry deals exclusively in expensive luxury goods.
Not exactly
The workers
exclusive.
here are very skilled, so I like to come to them when I need. This time, though, I just had them do a simple repair.
Makes sense.
The item.
Lady Ningguang, your comb has been fixed. We did everything we could to restore it to its original condition.
This
We'll
is
still
probably
see if you
about
want-
the
That's
destroyed Jade
fine.
Chamber once again.
Thank
Makes
you
sense.
for your hard work. Yes, though it is something very precious to one of my informants often
Oh, her
provide me
mother.
with extremely important information. Trust is of far greater importance than profit in the relationship between me and my informants. It's understandable to
Yeah.
think that way, but things are a little different with these particular informants.
Ooh.
Mora doesn't get you very far with this crowd, and this only makes me all the more excited to meet with them. Thank you for the
Okay.
repair, Xingxi.
Oh, don't mention it.
Let's go and meet.
I can't wait to meet them. I'm kind of curious. A group of people where money doesn't get you in. Oh, it's kids. Makes sense.
Auntie Ningguang! Hi, Auntie Ningguang!
Hello, my dears. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yes, indeed. And they are some of my I didn't want to
Yeah.
involve them in intelligence
Makes
gathering
sense.
for me at first. But they, on the other hand, were so enthusiastic about the idea that I thought it couldn't hurt to try.
Yeah.
It turned out that they delivered the goods and thoroughly enjoyed themselves so, fill me in.
Great! Mom and Dad have taken me on loads of cool trips recently.
Mhm.
It's been loads of fun. But you didn't do your home. Yeah, but you still gotta try. Like teacher says, Liyue Harbor is in a new age now, and we've got to
This new age started after that great battle, you know. Well, this is a dramatic. What about you, Nan Nan? You.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. A load of really big boats came into the harbor the day
Oh.
before. Yes, yeah, that's right. All the merchants were there, and it was really noisy. And then the people on the boat started unloading.
Oh, I see. That'll be the fishing boats coming back from the open
Okay.
ocean. How much cargo were they carrying?
Yeah, I made sure to look at the waterline, just like you said.
My goodness. Well, the heavier the boat, the lower
Okay.
the hull sits in the water. How deep a fully loaded vessel will sit in the water varies from ship to ship. But it's something you can tell.
Since Auntie Ningguang taught me how to do it, I can tell with just one look.
Very cool.
A few days ago, they said that when they get here, the price.
Oh, really? Who did you hear this from? All right, never mind.
Makes sense.
So, how about what they said?
Are you okay? You're usually the one that talks the most.
It's okay. Don't be upset. Actually, I brought you a little something to cheer.
It's my comb.
Of course I did.
Thank you, Auntie Ningguang. Thank you.
It was just a small favor.
But they said you'd be too busy.
They.
Uh-oh.
It's
Yeah,
all
it does
right.
look like there's a
Don't
story
worry.
behind this.
There just seems to be some kind of misunderstanding here. Why do
Yeah, Auntie Ningguang's not gonna.
I'm sorry. That thing about the luminescent spines wasn't something I heard. I told them I didn't want to lie to Auntie Ningguang, but then they bought me a new comb. I'm sorry. I'll give them the comb back right away.
I know
No.
how much it means to you. It was a gift from your mom before she left Liyue Harbor.
Yeah, it was. I'll be extra careful with it from now.
I must say, this is most intriguing.
Interesting.
How about this? You tell me where those
This
two
part of
people
it
are,
is very
and I'll take
unique.
the comb back to them.
Okay.
It's curious what
All right then.
they're doing with this story.
Don't worry.
Are you gonna go punish the.
Now, this is a grown-up situation, okay? It's not. I'm just going to have a polite discussion with those two grown-ups about
Yeah,
what they're
makes
allowed
sense. Threatening children is not okay. Okay, random adults. I'm curious at who they are. I'm like, is it the two with?
lines?
Yes, I know.
Was
But
it
we didn't
two
have any other
people
options.
with names?
Try not to
Ooh,
overthink,
I
okay?
wonder.
Nana Ningguang adores that kid. She's not gonna get all suspicious just because.
It sounds like you underestimated me.
Lady Ningguang?
You knew how important that comb was to Nan, and you exploited that fact to emotionally manipulate. You coached a child.
This is
to lie,
horrible.
made her betray her own innocence and confuse her conscience.
Sorry, Lady Ningguang.
That's not the point. Business is business.
Yes.
And at some point, we're all trying to get the better of one another. So if all you've done is fool me, but you cannot put more above all else. You cannot go exploiting children for profit.
This is why
Do
Ningguang's
you
a good
have
person.
Any idea just how much damage that will cause?
It was hardly our first choice either. We were only acting out of necessity. We've been business partners for years now. We've gotten by, I guess, but never had any opportunities to expand. When we heard about the movement in the luminescent spine market, we thought to heck with it. Let's go all in on this one. So we stocked up a huge stash of luminescent spines and watched as the price went up and up. We thought...
But we waited and waited, and this mystery merchant from Fontaine never came. More and more people started to... Suddenly, everyone with luminescent spines was running for the exit, selling as fast as they could, but we had so much...
This is why you
inventory
don't
that no one
always
was willing
hold
to
and
buy it.
you don't hold out for scams.
Oh yeah! As soon as Lady Ningguang makes a move, everyone follows her lead. And the price takes a steep hike. If we don't sell the goods, we're both bankrupt. We're in debt up to our eyeballs. We just didn't have any other choices.
You had a choice not
be
to
brutally
involve
honest,
the kids.
We took out a loan and made a speculative investment is not a sob story. But not everyone has the capability to make rash greed, a lust for wealth, and impatience can all cloud. Do you now realize how dire the consequences of what?
100%.
Mhm.
Both barely slept in. We begged people to take our stock off our hands. They laughed at us. Called us.
We messed up. Completely.
Yeah, you did.
Catastrophically
And then you tried to
savings we
involve
worked so hard
kids.
our
That's
whole lives to
horrible.
build up, decimated, just like that.
Well, I can take your luminescent spines off your hands. But we will need the portion of what I pay that exceeds the average price of luminescent spines in the past. You will have to pay back to me by some means in our future business dealing.
Huh? But that means our profit is 0.
Then you're free to find another willing buyer. But if you're seriously still insisting on turning a profit under these circumstances, I'm afraid you're beyond redemption.
Lady Ningguang is right. Let's swap the goods for cash and use it to pay off our debts and be done with it. This is a lifeline and we should be grateful for it.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, you
Yes, you're right.
should. Ningguang's such a
have
great
no particular
person.
need for
I really
luminescent
like her.
spines, but I'm quite sure I can uncover a market for it with a little research.
Okay, so, shall we?
No need to hurry.
I'll buy some off
Our
of
deal
you.
is hardly the urgent matter here. You took advantage of a child, and you are coming with me to make a full and unreserved. This is an opportunity for you to.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Yeah, honestly. But Ningguang will get the Millilith involved for you taking advantage of a child. You'll all go to jail permanently. Dude, you just don't mess with children. I don't know what else to
We're
say.
back. Everything's all sorted.
I'm sorry, Nan Nan. I was lying to you when I told you that I was completely in the wrong, and I promise I'll never do it.
I think it should be your choice, and yours alone.
Well,
Yeah, I would
it's all
too.
sorted out now, and nothing super bad happened. I guess it's okay. But we can't just let them off. We gotta show them you don't.
That's true. I'd certainly hate to see anyone else.
I've made up my mind. I want them to come play with us.
Yeah,
Yeah! Now we have
it's an
someone to play hide
obligation.
and
You're
great
now
idea.
forced to
Let's
play
go
hide and
play
seek with them.
Wait a second.
Can I join in?
No.
I would love to
Nope.
play hide and seek. Wind Trace is fun.
Yes, of course. I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving them alone with those two buffoons.
Do we all play hide and seek in the North Wharf? That's such a great ending to this, if that's the case.
Let me guess what you're thinking. You're thinking that there's not a huge difference between me turning these children into my informants and the actions of those two businessmen.
I mean, it's not
And
as
that
bad.
They were completely different when they'd run away as soon as they saw me, or they'd be shaking with nerves and unable to speak.
I mean,
But gradually,
you are
they stopped
Lady
seeing me as
Ningguang.
someone to be afraid of, and started seeing me as. For my part, I did my utmost to fulfill. I played games with them, but I also taught them observation
Yes.
skills,
You
analytical
shouldn't
skills,
manipulate
how to think
children to
critically.
feed false
I
information
never
to their.
taught business, though.
Yeah.
Now, they're much further ahead in their studies, and far more mature. I think that this is beneficial to
Yeah.
them. Yes, I never had the chance to receive a good education as a child.
Makes sense.
That's why I hope to teach these children myself. Someday they may realize that not everything is a win-win deal.
Yeah, no, it
that
never really is.
deception and one-upmanship are facts of life. But there's nothing wrong with when that happens, they will be ready to face the world head-on and become exceptional businessmen and women. But until then, I am here to protect them. I will one day die.
Yeah.
New Chising will replace the old. And Liyue will I hope the name Ningguang will live on. But not if I can pass on everything I have learned, I can create.
Come on, Auntie.
I mean,
Ningguang.
anything you
Hurry
teach me,
up.
I'll take
We're
along.
not gonna wait forever.
Come
That
in.
is sort of
Come
my
on,
job,
let's
as
enjoy-
Rex Lapis told me to. This one's very cute. I really like that ending. I like that story. A lot of the Hangout quests, I feel, are pretty good, but the newer ones, I don't know. I have a special spot in my heart for them. Oh, so this is the one where you do... I hate this. This hurts me.
Don't you think that this schedule is a bit of a light load? Yeah, that's true. Lady Ningguang has. We do
I hate
sometimes
this.
worry about her health, but her attitude is very Mora-driven. If by taking a break there's a chance she'll lose Mora, she'll never agree to it. Huh. I see where you... All right, then.
This is...
Let's go with your plan. I'm sure Lady Ningguang has plenty she wants to
I am
talk
not a
about with you.
fan of this
There's a lot
one.
of things that need doing over at the auction. I hope so too. You must be exhausted. Make sure you get an...
This is dude, I'm gonna mess up so bad. This is so bad. I hate this. I hate this so much.
Yes, I'm already awake. I'll be out in a moment. I'm just changing.
This is...
Good morning. Did you sleep well?
I'm a little nervous.
To worry about. We just need to go through the schedule you made and tick the items off one by... So, what's item 1 on today's schedule? I imagine this must have taken Baisha completely by surprise. Sure. There's no harm in changing my schedule is usually very tightly packed, and any extra time I can squeeze out is spent on preparing for the future. So, it'll be quite nice to take a break. I don't often feel tired.
Okay.
Seeing the Mora come in has a way of making me feel still.
She's not just gonna bite my head off, guys.
Mora, so then, the days ahead. Something I never...
I don't know why
the
this
chess
one...
game I made, or heard of it perhaps. Yes. It's based... When I was designing it, I wanted it not only to be a fun game, so I introduced a lot of concepts that aren't part of traditional chess. I'm constantly revising and expanding it. So far, there are over 30 editions. True. That's one, but I don't feel that making it easier to learn isn't one of the joys of playing chess to continue. I think the key will be to make...
Do I get to play the chess game with her? I'm just glad she's not gonna bite my head off for saying she needs to take some time off.
No problem. I will let you try it out. I want to make each of the and no guardians of Leo chess. I am indeed. My thinking was that only people... It seems only fitting for someone of your status. Naturally, since you are the face of that historic event.
Makes sense.
Everyone who owns this chess set will preserve this moment in history in a vivid and compelling form. Then it's decided. Come with me. To make this chess piece, I need to take some measurements.
You sound so happy. Simple schedule. I am proud to announce I didn't have to teleport out of the Jade Chamber.
You already know each other?
Oh,
We've met before.
I think it goes a little deeper than that. I don't teach my hard-earned skills to just anyone, you know. There's a word for people like you, who are warm one minute and cold the next.
You seem to be in a good mood today.
As ever. There's nothing special about today, but seeing you two has definitely perked me up.
I don't like this
All
girl.
jokes aside, how can I be of service?
Remember the custom chess pieces I told you about? I'd like you to take her measurements.
Whatever business I'm in, I am first and foremost a woman of many talents.
I'm sure.
Don't you remember when I taught you how to make perfume?
Yes.
There was no porcelain involved in that. As it happens, I am a skilled tailor as well.
Totally forgot about the perfume.
What can I say? I'm in the prime of my youth and I love...
Yingar is every bit as proficient as any of the top tailors in the land. I've availed myself of her services many times before.
How is a tailor gonna be
sorry. I'm just realizing that the traveler only thinks I'm good at one You'll find all the tools you could need in the room. Please, help yourselves. I'll stay outside and mind...
Huh? What are you expecting me...
Oh, I think the traveler is the one you should be asking about that.
Stop twisting my words, witch.
It's hard not to tease when you're both so... Come on then. Step inside and...
She's right. I am very easy to tease. I will fall right into any trap.
If I hear any strange new rumors after this, you will be my #1 son.
Rumors about the traveler? Or the chess piece?
Either. Both are
Don't worry, I know where the line is. I'd never take a joke. Secrets are only fun when they're kept secret.
I don't like you, yeah, dear.
Enough with the ambiguous phrasing, okay? You'll give people the wrong idea. Forget it.
You're always welcome at Scent of Spring.
I slightly regret bringing you here.
I do too.
It doesn't bother me. I just hope she didn't make you feel too awkward.
She immediately
Now that
did
your
by
measurements are
speaking.
taken, let's go to Mingxing Jewelry and put an order in.
Hello, Lady
She
Ningguang.
immediately
What, that chess
feel
piece I told you
awkward.
about? We can start work.
Okay, let me just double check.
Good. And as agreed, please use.
Of course, we are professionals.
Okay.
And we will do everything. Although,
I'm curious how this chess
speaking to you
piece
as
will
a
turn out.
friend, I have to tell you that the sale price you indicated won't even cover the cost of production. I don't mean just the material costs either. Waiting around for top quality materials drags out the production time and also reduces the total quantity we can produce.
That's okay. This one is not for. With every previous set, there's always been
Okay.
some degree of commercial or marketing considerations to bear. To that point, as you know, the prototype of the Jade Chamber chess piece has been in the works for a long time. But I
Okay.
haven't once followed up on the progress.
I'm curious
Yes,
about what
and
this
just
is.
like your piece, the Jade Chamber piece will be scaled for the game.
It's a huge
Yes, it's
undertaking.
a challenging project, but also, not for profit is really not something I ever expected from. How do I put it? It just seems.
In business, everything comes down to profits versus losses. You have to keep a cool head and make rational, but shrewdness is easily perceived as cynicism in the eyes of
Okay,
others.
yeah.
Hardly the
Ningguang,
worst thing
you're
in the
not
world,
very
of course.
cynical. You're just
But
very
it has caused
shrewd.
obstacles for me in the past. Well, for example, I once had a case where someone backed out of a deal with me to sell to someone else. We were both offering the exact same terms. It was simply because they didn't like me very much.
Oh, that's
Another case is where I
rough.
offered distinctly more competitive terms in an investment, and this ended up arousing their suspicion. That Ningguang, they thought, she must be up to something.
I see.
But these problems disappeared all but completely after the battle against her side. Why? Because the whole of Leo witnessed me destroying, at least, that's the most reasonable explanation.
Oh, I get it. You're saying that back when you sacrificed
Okay,
the Jade
yeah.
Chamber, you gained everyone's respect in return. You're not seeking to make a profit from these chess pieces.
That makes
because
sense.
what you're commemorating is your personal It was the deal of the century. And as long as you keep capitalizing on it, business will be plain sailing for you in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I totally agree.
Truly a brilliant strategy, Lady Ningguang. You really... Now I understand why this set needs to be so perfect and why it's okay that it doesn't turn a profit.
It will be a lot of work, and I'm make sure the Traveler's piece is exactly how she wants it. We can't go letting her down.
Don't you worry.
What?
We'll put our all into it.
Well,
What are you gonna do?
that's that then. There's something I want
Can
to
I get a
discuss with
Shenhe
you.
piece?
I have a question for you.
Oh.
And I'd like to hear your honest opinion.
I'd love
and
to answer.
I, in turn, will tell you how I really think. When we were at Mingxing Jewelry, I admitted that my decision to sacrifice the Jade Chamber was a calculated one. I had already considered what I stood to lose, and when you heard that, did it make you think that maybe I really was a cynical profit chaser after all?
Yeah, honestly, the point is that you stepped up when you came when the
Thank
time
you.
came.
Yes. You see things the way they are, however they may appear on the surface. I was lying to Xingxi. My decision to destroy the Jade Chamber was nowhere near as thought through as I made it out to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Afterwards, I consoled myself by reasoning that all my wealth comes from Leo Harbor. So, to lose Leo Harbor is to lose everything. In that sense, giving up the Jade Chamber would be a profitable investment, but it just didn't work. Because I had just severed ties with a lifelong companion. I stared out at the sea for goodness knows how long.
That makes sense.
I just couldn't let it go. I just couldn't. There was no way I could console myself. So why bother trying? But as time went by, I received so many thank you gifts and letters from people. Everyone was describing how they now saw me in a new light, how I'd become an inspiration to them. I gave up the Jade Chamber without a moment's hesitation, and I did it for the sake of Leo Harbor. And now, people are inspired to follow my example, to tackle their life challenges with the same unswerving determination. All of this was so encouraging to hear. It made me feel that my dear old companion's sacrifice was not in vain. Because, to most people, the idea that Lady Ningguang is someone who battles with grief and struggles to let go of the past is probably the furthest thing from the
Totally
truth that they could
understanding,
imagine.
Well,
This is one
I
aspect
wasn't
of the truth that
expecting
I
a
can share
turned.
only with you. The fact that I can't always be as strong as everyone thinks I am. Thank you for your comforting words.
Yeah.
It feels good even just to be able to talk about it. I'm sorry that you have to see me in this state.
It
But
doesn't
look where
matter,
I am
but
now,
I
standing
like
on the deck of the Jade
the
Chamber
emotional,
once more, taking in
the
the
way
view.
she conveys the emotions
It
behind this.
must be fate's reward to me.
It's
And
just
if I end up having
so.
to do it all over again in the future, I will not hesitate to make the same decision again.
That is honestly beautiful.
Something I never. Interesting. Because as far as most people are concerned, Mora is the key to any and all opportunities. Yes, you're absolutely right. This is what I appreciate
More
about you.
is like
You see
money.
things the way
It
they
limits
are rather
things.
than how they appear. I want to do something a little self-indulgent. Is that okay by you? Thank you.
Self-indulgency
here it
isn't
is.
always the worst thing.
I've always thought it would be fun to recapture what life was like before I joined. I was born into a humble family, and all the wealth you see now began with a single haul of fish. I had to. I wasn't born with a silver spoon
Yeah,
in my
makes
mouth.
sense.
Fishing isn't the half of it. You'd be amazed at some of the odd jobs I've worked in my time.
I
A lot of
mean,
the old folks like to brag about how I used to be their errand runner back in the day.
it's not that hard to imagine for
They
me.
were tough times, but I had a clear goal, and if I didn't make any money in the morning, I'd have no food for lunch. I guess that's why I came to be so obsessed with. I want to
That
relive
does
that
make
time
sense.
for my life. Feel some of that drive again. Take a trip. So how about it? Will you join me?
Yeah,
Great.
sounds
Then
great.
let me lay. We're not to use our status or reputation in Liyue Harbor to our advantage, and we have no starting capital. The goal is to see how much more we can make under these
Oh.
conditions. Okay, but working as a day laborer could be quite dull. Why don't we go down to the docks? They periodically throw out a lot of unclaimed or
Okay.
abandoned goods. We might find something that we can exchange for Mora. What does it matter? Don't worry about. Come on, let's go down.
Ooh, having some fun with Ningguang, I see. I'm quite curious of how good the writing will be for this, because the last one was really well written. So I'm kind of curious about this one, because if this one's is just as well written, then damn, the writing for this game has improved quite a bit.
Lady Ningguang, to what do I owe the... Are you here to inspect the goods in the warehouse? You may have to wait a moment. Sorry, I won't be long.
Calm down. No need to.
Oh, you're just... I haven't done anything. Have I? Oh, right, the periodic clearances. Yeah, I've been handling those strictly. I make sure I post all the necessary notices and notify. It used to be a huge problem, but with a bit of hard work, I've managed to reduce the amount of goods. It's hard to say. It really depends. But as far as the warehouse is concerned, they all fall into these categories: unclaimed goods, damaged goods, or unpaid. As for the damaged ones, I guarantee you it's nothing to do with how they're stored. It's because some things go bad more easily than others. If it sits there in the warehouse for too long, it goes without saying that it could start to affect the other goods.
Yeah,
That aside,
makes sense.
even the...
So, have you cleared out any of these?
I'm afraid we just finished clearing out all the big ones. But don't worry, Lady Ningguang. If you're here for an inspection, then I'm here to make it happen. Hang tight.
Hold on. Oh, I don't think he has quite grasped the nature of this situation.
Can't really blame him.
Lady Ningguang, I had a quick run through the list and cleared out...
Let me see here. Soggy food, an odd shoe, a
Small wooden
broken mirror,
toys.
small wooden toy. It's a shame we missed the last clearance. We're down to the slim pickings now. Some of these are true junk.
Yeah.
But there are a few items of Take this wooden toy, for example. The wood is good quality. If you took it apart, there's quite a number of useful everyday objects that you could turn it
Yes.
into. With a little work.
Huh? You want it? Well, sure. Take whatever you want. It's all getting thrown away.
Great. This is going well. Yes.
I have no idea what's going on here, and I'm not about to ask either.
I don't blame you, dude. It's really hard to understand when, like, your government, like, it would be like if the president just casually walked up to me and is like, hey, you got any goods? And it's like, what? I'm sorry? I'm just a simple factory worker. Don't know what you're on about. Goods. I just run the warehouse here. That is truly funny.
Lady Ningguang, welcome to my humble store. What?
Actually, today's a little different. I'm not here to buy anything. I wanted to ask
What
if you could
happened
take
back
a look
there?
at some goods
That
for
bird
me.
kicked that other bird off?
Just take a look? What for? Oh, I see. Let me take... I mean, I can take them. I have a few regular customers I can talk to. But...
What's wrong? If it's too much trouble, please...
No, it's nothing like that. Well, anyway, so I'll give you...
Oh.
No worries. The price is... If that figure's not what you...
What are your thoughts? Yes.
Yeah, way too much.
At most, the...
And specifically, I thought that was all code for some kind of inspection.
It appears so.
You know.
Let's try something else. As long as we're in Liyue Harbor, this kind of misunderstanding is inevitable. If I wasn't Ningguang, Go Sonar probably wouldn't have handed all of these over to us. And you likely wouldn't be willing to buy them.
To be completely honest, you're not...
This goes against the rules we set for ourselves at the start.
Yes.
Are there any other ways for adventurers to make Mora besides their remuneration from the guild?
Yeah.
Great. I don't mind.
Treasure hunting.
Have a good one.
Treasure hunting. I love treasure hunting. Treasure hunting time. A rags to riches. Always a great little fun thing to do. Like one of those channels that spends
This must be the place.
who spends time like with $1 it gives a pen. Oh, I get to play Ningguang? Makes sense. Ningguang doesn't appear to be built as strong. It doesn't seem to be a C6 like mine. Or Addie's. Vase is like insane.
Don't waste my time.
It's like 10,000 to 20,000.
It feels like the feeling of creating your wealth with your
Yes.
own two hands is just as... Yes, I'd say so. And let's not forget, we started with no initial cap. In any case, the sight of Mora has always had a way of improving. I intend to. This time, let's try something a little...
Ooh, more challenging? Do I fight something stronger? Is that what's gonna happen? Like a hilly troll base. Yep, looks about right. So, wall, walk through wall, alt. Right, because I might have walked through too fast when I still had the buff on.
It's nothing. Transfiguration.
But yeah,
Go. Illusion.
I would have probably done the day off one if I didn't think she'd bite my head off, but apparently she's a bit more chill than I imagined. Maybe my bias is just as she
Another
imagined.
satisfying haul. That's very kind of you. For me, a battle is just a form of exercise.
Yeah, makes
A way to
sense.
keep fit and use up any surplus energy. Oh no, not yet. Hey, look. What's that? Oh, I see. So it... Oh, how quaint. Well, I'm afraid I'm having far too much. Come on, let's go.
Ooh, am I now hunting down those moles? Oh, I'm looking for
Manifest.
one of the moles.
There it is. After it. Unleash.
It can't be that hard to
Goodness.
catch.
This reminds me of, but we didn't let it slip away, and the hall is now ours. Let's see. We can't do any serious business with this amount of starting capital. We need to keep working hard. Actually, now that you mention it, Wangshu Inn is right there. But same thoughts here.
Yeah.
After how hard we worked to get our hands on, in which case, I think I'll take this opportunity to show you a skill that I used to be. Yes, but the rule of the game is no fishing rods allowed. Come on, let's.
Ooh, gotta catch fish by the river with our bare hands. I've done that before. Not that hard.
This should be enough.
Like,
Let's head back to land and grill them.
I like how the hilly troll is just there. He's just standing here in the background like, yo, can I have one of those?
It's a little
And I handed him one and he's just like, yo, thanks.
Normally, I have to make a special request to the chef if I want it to taste like this. I'm okay. Back in the day, I had to hurry home after work to do I was always meticulous with the most menial of tasks. My mother always loved that about, but by the same token, she didn't love the idea of me leaving home and starting my own business.
Yeah.
She thought it was just an unnecessary risk when I could just carry on helping out at home and you'd be more likely to see me pulling up outside Wanmin restaurant and selling grilled tiger fish from a food cart. My childhood memories run deep. I'll always have a special affection for fish. They are confined to the water, and yet they live free, swimming around wherever the mood takes them.
Yeah.
It is. I have greatly enjoyed experiencing when I think back on all my hard work in the past, it motivates me to face the challenges that lie ahead in the future.
Next time I'll grill fish for you.
That sounds but a word of warning. I am very picky about my grilled fish. I can be a tough lady to
I remember that line. It's pretty good.
Interesting. Because as far as most people are concerned, yes, you're absolutely right. I want to do something a little. Thank you. All right. I was born into a humble family. Fishing isn't a lot of the old folks like to brag about how they were tough. If I didn't make any money, I want to relive that time. So how about it? Will you? Great. We're not to use our stuff. The goal is to see how. I can see why you'd, but Northland Bank is a special case. I rather suspect I would not be well. Yes, and also.
A clash from the past.
Never mind. I expect they still hold a grudge against me to this.
Oh. Oh. Cool. So we're going to Northland Bank. I wasn't expecting that one, so I sort of was expecting it to end differently. I'm kind of curious of what Northland Bank is gonna do, because they are run by the Fatui, and the Fatui is not the fondest of me or Ningguang. So, well, here at Northland Bank, I'm curious of what the hell they're gonna have us do.
Lady Ningguang, I would hope that you're not here to create further trouble. With all due respect, too much official pressure will risk.
There's no need to be so. I'm just here to talk business. So, are you in business?
That depends on the proposal. And it's not my. But first, tell me, why should we believe that you. Because if you're here to make us suffer huge losses like last time, then I'm sorry. But none of us here can afford.
She's very spiteful.
Traveler, we're leaving. Let's not waste.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't expecting any more different here. Me and Ningguang are not welcome here. I guess we might be welcome. I might be welcome due to Tartaglia. Tartaglia.
Do you see what I mean now? Their attitude was just as I expected.
Hot poppin' villagers.
That's for sure. Although our diplomatic relations with Snezhnaya haven't broken down completely.
Makes sense.
I dealt them a rather ruthless blow with the size of the reparations payment I imposed. This sum was paid by Northland Bank, so they are still wary of me to this day.
Yeah.
Yes, with some exceptions. If you encounter them in any other nations during your travels, be on your guard. They are more than just a commercial organization.
Snezhnaya? Is that a hint towards something in Snezhnaya? The new area? Or no, Sumeru. God. Yeah, is that a hint towards something in Sumeru? That'd be cool, Sumeru.
That's okay. My intention here was to show you some of the but that's quite enough politics for today.
Yeah, honestly.
Let's get back to our fun little survival game. Now that you mention it, yes. We're being watched. What are they plotting this time?
Do they see me just jump over the railings?
My thoughts exactly. Let's act natural. To keep moving, just walk forward at a normal pace.
Okay, walk. I'm kind of curious. Do I get to see the person following us, or is it just like a quest destination thing? It'd be cool if they let us see him. I don't see anyone.
Okay, I think we have a few potential. There's a lot of foot traffic here, but if you look closely, you'll see only a handful of people have. But I'm still not sure which of them is our tail.
Yeah.
Agreed. Whoever it is will.
It's
continue
probably
to
the
follow
person
us.
in the outfit who looks like a Snezhnaya diplomat. Yeah, that man does look like he's from Snezhnaya. I don't think I've seen him standing there before, but maybe I'm just profiling. That or it's the person behind there, but I don't see him anymore. I've never seen Shinho's walk. It's kind of cute.
I think we've narrowed it down a little, but let's stay calm. It shouldn't take much.
It is the blonde dude. Okay, cool. So he is literally called suspicious person. Oh, so there's multiple suspicious people. It's definitely the blonde dude, right? He's gonna be closer now.
I think I have the answer.
It's him. 100.
Let's get out of his line of sight and don't get the wrong person, though, or all.
What are you doing?
Come now. Did you really?
What? I'm not doing anything.
I don't know what
I'm
scheme
pretty
Northland Bank
obvious.
has in the work, but let's make a deal.
I've seen him 3 times.
Or do you seriously think Northland Bank won't throw you to the wolves when push comes? Why don't you weigh the pros and cons and give me a clear answer?
Sorry, Lady Ningguang. My assignment was just to follow you. When you showed up
Yeah.
unannounced at Northland Bank, everyone was instantly on high alert. We figured you must be up to something, but your brief conversation left us none the wiser as to your intentions.
Yeah.
We couldn't just overlook it. We had to get to the bottom of it before we could put our minds at rest.
I know they're wary of me, but
Yeah.
this is still
A bit of an
all feels
overreaction.
Very suspicious. There must be more to this than he is letting on. I only took. Is there anyone else following us besides you?
Yes, they would have seen this and.
Then we need to get moving. The longer they have to react, the fewer clues they'll leave behind. No time. I'll just keep him with you.
Ooh. Just grabs him by the collar, starts dragging him along with us.
Are you saying that Ningguang hasn't done? Impossible. She wouldn't have shown up here out of the blue. Keep investigating. We must ascertain her.
Our intentions were clear.
So much commotion. This must be an important...
Oh, great.
It looks like I wasn't
got
supposed
pretty
to be
cute
privy to the
stockings.
contents of...
So, you are here to investigate. Where did you get wind of this?
That doesn't matter. What matters is that I made a brief and inconsequential visit, and your first reaction was to immediately arrange a sizable surveillance operation with myself as the target. You couldn't have advertised your guilty conscience more clearly if you'd tried. You may as well come clean. You know I will not turn a blind eye to any violation of the rules in...
Even if we cooperate with her investigation, she's bound to find problems even where there are none. Well, if you're such a stickler for the rules, you can carry out your investigation by the book. The Northland Bank has no obligation to cooperate, even with a member of the...
Fine by me. Then I'll take my time. But you'll be begging to tell me everything by the time I'm through.
Oh boy. This is also a pretty cool ending. I found her quest quite enjoyable. There is a bit of repetitiveness with the start of it, since you have to wake her up for 4 out of the 5 endings, which makes it awfully repetitive. But overall, I found her quest quite enjoyable. I would recommend it. My favorite ending was by far the one where she just confides in you. I find it very cool, and I found the voice actor did a really good job. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.